Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all. Auzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let us start Al-Fatiha to begin our session. Alhamdulillah, we've already come to our 11th series of session, and before that I would like to apologize to all because we need to change the date of our session today. Usually we conduct this session on every Thursday night, every second and fourth week of the month, but tonight we need to conduct on Wednesday night because of some technical events need to be conducted this week, so we changed the date to be on tonight. The objective of this program is basically to revise regarding our recitation of Al-Quran in terms of Tajwid and also to emphasize on the correct pronunciation as well as the related hukum related with Tajwid so that we can improve our correct recitation of the Al-Quran. So the session usually will begin with a series of talk by our Tajwid Sharer, Brother Idlan. And after that, he will show us the example of that hukum in the ayah or the verses in the Quran. And from there, on the second part of the session, I will recite verses from Al-Quran. So now we currently stay in Surah Al-Waqi'ah. And after that, followed by Brother Idlan. And last part, we would like to offer the session for any viewers to recite the Al-Quran voluntarily. Right? Okay, if we realize it, Brother Idlan, we already covered quite a lot of topics in Tajwid, and I think we come towards the end of the list that we have shared before. Even in our video promo, we noticed that the hukum Mad Lazim Harfi and Mad Lazim Kalimi is on the lower side. So inshallah after this we're going to be covering on the other important topic as well, example qalqalah, and also some important signs in Al-Quran that we might not aware or we aware but we not really remember. So last month we did cover on hukum Mad Lazim Harfi. So I think during that time we did an introduction, but it done already did introduction about the Mad Lazim Harfi and Mad Lazim Kalimi. So both actually require us to make the harakah of the mad of about 6 harakah. And the difference between Mad Lazim Harfi and Mad Lazim Kalimi is that in Mad Lazim Harfi, the mad, the huruf of the mad that we need to pronounce is basically at the beginning of the verses or ayah in the Quran, in comparison to Mad Lazim Kalimi is in the middle of verse or ayah or words or kalimah in the Quran. And in both hukum, there is a division of the hukum, which is muthaqqal and mukhaff. Muthaqqal is basically heavy because it consists of letter with idgham or hukum of idgham within that. Because when we're talking about Mad Lazim Harfi, we need to spell out the huruf, individual huruf. So as if like we try to spelling out, and if there is elements of idgham, meaning example nun saktah or nun sakinah meets any huruf of idgham, so we need to make a nasab pronunciation, so there will be addition of that, so it's considered muthaqqal. Otherwise, another one is quite light hukum, whereby it's just muhaffaf and it does not conceive any idgham elements in the spelling out of the huruf. So now I pass the session to Brother Idlan to cover the hukum of Mad Lazim Kalimi. Brother Idlan, thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good night everyone. So we'll proceed with the continuation of Mad Lazim, which is Mad Lazim Kalimi, Muthaqqal and Mukhaffaf. So okay, so this is our 11th session. Okay, so as I said before, Tajwid. So Tajwid in English we follow riwayat Hafs and Asim, and all mukallaf is obligated to learn Tajwid, especially on the Al-Fatiha. Okay, so this week we will learn about Lazim Kalimi. Okay, so let's recall back about Lazim. We have Lazim Harfi and Lazim Kalimi. Lazim Harfi is when the Lazim occur between the letter, which I explained before about Alif, Lam, Mim, Yasin, and others. But for Lazim Kalimi, it's occur in in Kalimah. So in Kalimah, and it have two, which is Musaqqal and Mukhaffaf. Actually, the concept is quite similar, which is if all of you remember, for Musaqqal, it is occur when there is idgham, or we call insertion, or in Malay we call masukkan. If there is idgham, so it is Musaqqal, and if there is no idgham, it is Mukhaffaf. So I will explain more about Lazim Kalimi. Okay, so Lazim. Okay, so for the what we call for the name itself, Lazim mean that sukun that involve is permanent, and Kalimi, which mean that the letter of mat meet with sukun Lazim, which is, or if we want to understand easier, we call it sukun mat meet with sukun that is occur in one kalimah. Okay, so it have two type, Musaqqal and Mukhaffaf. Musaqqal, which mean heavy, Mukhaffaf mean light. Okay, so one thing that important for us to remember is that all these mat lazim, we need to read it sid harakah. All mat lazim harfi, Musaqqal, Mukhaffaf, mat lazim kalimi, Musaqqal, Mukhaffaf, all we need to read it sid harakah. So that's the thing that's similar between all of them. And actually, how we want to recognize the mat lazim different between mat lazim kalimi musaqqal and mukhaffaf is that for mat lazim kalimi musaqqal, if we see in the Quran, it is like after the letter of mat, there is we call shadda. There is sabdu. And for mat lazim kalimi mukhaffaf, after the letter of mat, there is sukun. Okay, so actually that's what the difference between Lazim kalim musaqqal and Lazim kalim mukhaffaf. And if we see this one, we will think that the definition is quite contradictory, like, because the definition said that the letter of mat meet with sukun, but this one, the letter of mat meet with shadda. So actually for the shadda is actually the combination of two letters. For this one, like for lam, lin. So there is actually two letters, which is first lam sukun, and the next lam is lam with below sign. So that's how we can see if we write one by one, and that's how is if we want to understand the definition. But for us to easier to remember, just remember that after the letter of mat, which is alif, waw, or ya, there is shadda. It is Lazim kalim musaqqal. And if there is sukun, Lazim kalim mukhaffaf. Okay. Okay, so I might can have Dr. Shaiful to. Okay, so actually for this one, can you recognize which one is? Okay, this one is Lazim kalim musaqqal.
Yeah.
Okay, for this one, can you recognize which one is Lazim Kalimi Musaqqal?
Okay. The one with within one kalima, and there's a presence of a subdue sign. Example, at-tamma, as-saha, dolin.
Okay.
وحاجة الحاقة. Am I right?
Yes. Okay, so actually in this the example, the first one is as-sakhah. You can see that there is letter of mat, and after that is shaddah. Actually, for Lazim Kalimi Musaqqal is quite a lot in Quran. As-sakhah, at-tammatul kubra, waladhdallin. Also, this one also considered as Lazim Kalimi because this small alif also considered as letter of mat. So, atuhaju, then ta'muru, al-hajj, wahajjahu qawm. And then al-haqqah, صافات دابة ولا جاء ليحاجوكم. Okay, so there is Lazim Kalimi Musaqqal, and we encounter it every day, for example like in Fatihah or Ad-Dali, and also in Surah Al-Mulk, Al-Waqi'ah also have Lazim Kalimi Musaqqal. And this is what I say about the letter of mat, with the letter with shaddah. صافة أدابة صافت تأمروني ليحاجوكم. So there is for Lazim Kalimi Musaqqal. So let's go to the example. Okay, so can Dr. Recognize which one is Lazim? Here,
Yeah,
Lazim Kalimi Musaqqal.
I think on the verses 34, فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ. So the kalimah tammah is there, and then on the verses 33, right? 33. فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الصَّاخَّةُ.
Correct. Actually, this one I don't remember, but it is not from the Juz Amma, not from Juz 30. It is from the other Juz. So how we read it? The Shaitan read it. فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى. So for this one, فإذا جاءت الصاخة. Okay, so the first one we need to remember is that we need to read it siharaka. And I think it is quite easy for us to recognize it. So let's go to the next example. So I think this one is, I said in the Surah Al-Fatiha, Waladhdallin. So how we read it? صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين ولا الضالين. Okay, so that's how we read Lazim, Kalimi, Musaqqal. And for the next example is from the
Idlan, sorry for the disturb. Can we go to the previous slide just now? Another one. Okay, I think just for revision, for myself, on the ayah 34, on the right hand side of the verse, فَإِذَا جَاءَتِ الطَّامَّةُ الْكُبْرَى. For the hukum mad, that one harakah can be 2, 4, or 5. Am I right?
No. This one is 4 or 5.
4 or 5. All right. Okay.
It is mad wajib.
Mad wajib mutasil.
For that one, the say if 2, 4, or 5 is mad jais, which means that it is in the 2 different words.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
And then the next one is from the Surah Al-Haqqah. For this one, actually, in these 3 ayah, Al-Haqqatu mal-Haqqah wa ma adraka mal-Haqqah. So there is also Ma'adim, Kalimi Mithaqqal. How we recognize it? There is the letter of Mad meet with the letter with Shadda. And also in this Surah Al-Baqarah, قل أتحاجوننا في الله وهو ربنا وربكم قل أتحاجوننا في الله وهو ربنا وربكم. Okay, if all of you notice, when we read it, I say there is Maladim Kalim Muthaqqal, there is idgham, which means insertion to the insertion. Actually, the insertion occur because of the shadda. Here, insertion occur because the shadda, not like the Maladim Harfi, which is occur because of idgham ma'al gunna. So here, it's occur because of shadda. So if we try to read it, we try to insert to the next letter. قل أتحاجوننا أتحاجوننا. So this one from the Surah Al-Baqarah verse 139. Okay. So that is actually for this one, this one is from for the right side is from Surah An-Nazi'at, and for the left side is Surah Abasa, both from the Juz 30. Both from Juz 30, and this one is from Surah Al-Fatiha. This one is from Surah Al-Haqqah, and the left is from Surah Al-Baqarah. And actually, it's quite a lot for the Ma'lazim Kalim Muthaqqal. So like I said, what's easier to recognize it? There is the letter of Mad, and of course there is the wave sign above it. Meet with the next letter with Shadda. That's Ma'lazim Kalim Muthaqqal. We need to read it with 6 harakat. Come to the interesting part, which is Ma'lazim Kalimi Mukhaffaf. Actually, Ma'lazim Kalim Mukhaffaf is only 2 in Quran. And both verse is the same same word, which is وقد and so both is using the same word. The first one is from verse number 51, and the next one from the verse number 91, both in Surah Yunus. So how we read it? Six haraka also. وقد كنتم تستعجلون وقد عصيت قبل وكنت من المفسدين. Actually, in Arabic, this al-an mean that adakah. The is adakah. Al-an, adakah. So, in Quran, there is only two, which is from the Surah Yunus, verse 51 and 91. Actually, for Lazim Kalimi Mukhaffaf is quite rare, but just only two in Quran and both in Surah Yunus. So, easy for us to remember. So I think that is, but to emphasize more on Lazim. So we go back here. So if we can revise back, what we learn here is Lazim Kalimi Mukhaffaf and Muthaqqal. Lazim Kalimi Muthaqqal is when there is letter of mat, and with the next letter with shaddah, and for Lazim Kalimi Mukhaffaf, only two in Quran, and how we recognize it. There is the letter of mat meet with the next letter with sukun. So and the letter is an. And for Lazim Harfi, for Lazim Kalimi Harfi Muthaqqal is when there is the huruf and the next huruf. Because if we remember how we want to recognize it, we need to spell the huruf. We need to spell the letter like lam. We need to spell lam, alif, mim. So and then how we categorize it, muthaqqal or mukhaffaf. So lam and mim. So lam, alif, mim meet with mim, ya, mim. So mim meet with mim occur idgham. So that's how idgham occur, and that's when we call it muthaqqal. And mukhaffaf is when there is what we call no relationship, no idgham with the next letter. For example, like Yasin, Nun. So for this one is Ta, Sin, Mim. For the letter of Mim, there is you consider as mukhaffaf. Okay, but I think this one might be quite confusing for us to remember. But what I can say is that the important one is that we know that we need to read it 6 harakah, because all these four, we need to read it 6 harakah. For Lazim Kalimi, I think it's quite easy for us to categorize it. For Lazim Harfi, actually, it's quite difficult for us to categorize it. But at least we know that it's Lazim Harfi, because actually from Lazim Harfi, the Muthaqqal and Mukhaffaf, both we read it 6 harakah. So we need to know it is Lazim Harfi, 6 harakah. I think that is enough for us. Lazim Harfi and Lazim Kalimi. So I said for Lazim, that's how the hukum, and all of this we read it 6 harakah. So I think that's all.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much, Brother Idlan. So I think it's very clear that this hukum mat lazim we encounter quite often, quite frequent when we recite Al-Quran. We just sometimes not sure the name of the hukum, but we need to know that the recitation requires us to pronounce it of the hukumat in 6 harakah, right? Is this 6 harakas is the maximum harakah so far in terms of hukumat? Or there's any other like 7 harakah? No, right? This is a maximum one, right? No other hukum, right? So this is a maximum 6 harakah so far. And I think we did cover most of the hukumat, Brother Idlan.
Yep. I think there is some.
Yeah, some. Remaining. Never mind. We'll go to that later, right? Yeah, thank you. So Alhamdulillah, so far we have understand regarding hukum mat lazim harfi and mat lazim kalimi, and I think we encounter often mat lazim kalimi musaqqal, and I just realized that mat lazim kalimi muhaffaf only have 2 place in verse Al-Quran in the same surah of Surah Yunus, right? That's very interesting. And mat lazim harfi are basically related in the beginning of the surah or ayah, and it's related with the spelling out of the letters, and it's also 6 harakah. Okay. All right. So with that, we go to the recitation of Al-Quran for tonight, Brother Idlan.
Surah Waqi'ah.
Yeah, still Surah Waqi'ah, right? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innahu laqur'anun karim. Fi kitabim maknun. La yamassuhu illa al-mutahharun. تنزيل من رب العالمين أفبهذا الحديث أنتم مدهنون وتجعلون رزقكم أنكم تكذبون فلولا إذا بلغت الحلقوم وأنتم حينئذ تنظرون ونحن أقرب إليه منكم ولكن لا تبصرون فلولا إن كنتم غير مدينين صدق الله العظيم. Yes, Brother Idlan, any comments?
In this, no comment from.
We can listen from Brother Idlan recitation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إنه لقرآن كريم في كتاب مكنون لا يمسه إلا المطهرون تنزيل من رب العالمين أفبهذا الحديث أنتم مدهنون وتجعلون رزقكم أنكم تكذبون فلولا إذا بلغت الحلقوم وأنتم حينئذ تنظرون ونحن أقرب إليه منكم ولكن لا تبصرون فلولا إن كنتم غير مدين.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much. So I think in these verses in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, there is no hukum of mat lazim, right? No,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
So Alhamdulillah, we already end our part 2 of the session. So the last one before we end, we would like to offer anyone from our viewers, audience, to recite if anyone would like to volunteer. I realized tonight, because we changed the date, right, Brother Idlan, so probably there's not much participants for tonight. Yeah. So I think that's our session for tonight, and inshallah, I think the subsequent session we're going to cover Hukumat series or Qalqalah, Brother Idlan. Qalqalah, is it?
Then we go with Qalqalah.
Okay. All right. So inshallah we'll go with the Qalqalah. So with that, I would like to thank Brother Idlan, and also would like to thank all the audience for joining our session tonight. We end our session with Surah Al-Asr before. Take care everyone. Assalamualaikum and take care.